Hey, to everybody who asked for a tutorial for these caterpillars, here's a tutorial on how to make one of these beautiful little chapstick holders. I love these. You can use whatever green you want, but these are the greens that I'm gonna use. I get about a forearm's length of string. By the way, you can choose as many colors as you want, but I go up to 7 rows, so I'd say just at least keep it within 7. You're first gonna start with 4 beads and tie it together. I'd say the best amount to tie is about 3 ties. I'd say minimum is 2, but it's really up to you. Cut the excess and just toss it. Once you get to here, you're gonna thread it through your nearest bead and just pull. Then once you get to here, you see how this has 4 little spaces? You're going to fill those in with the exact same color. So let me show you. So as you can see, I have 1 bead on and I've already threaded through this. I'm going to take it, thread it through this bead and pull pretty tight, and you're gonna see that, okay, it's not lined perfectly. You're gonna see it builds like this. You're gonna do that all the way around to add 4 beads. Again, an extra demonstration. I got 1 bead, and then you see this nearest bead, you're gonna thread that baby through, pull tight, and you're just gonna continue that all the way around. Once you get to here, thread it through your nearest corner. Now, I do 3 colors at a time, so I'm gonna go start on my next color. You're gonna take your second color and add 2 beads here and thread it through this. I'll show you how. Here are my 2 beads. Oh, wait, they're different colors. Take your 2 beads and you're gonna thread them again to the nearest corner. So I'm going to push that sucker through, pull tight, and boom, you've already got your first 2 on. Now you're gonna go and do that all the way around. Again, basically just like a big circle. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to thread through these 2 beads that you just added and go to this middle spot. Once you are to here, you're gonna start adding 1 bead, going through these 2, and going to the next to add 1 other. I'll demonstrate. So here's your 1 bead. You've already come to this middle point. You're going to thread it through these 2, pull tight, and there you go. It's added on. Go ahead and do that in a circle. Well, Scotty, why is it starting to curl? That's a good thing. You want it to do this. All right, so here is my middle bead. You are going to go through this bead, and then again, I'm starting by 3s, so you can go ahead and start your next color by adding 2. Basically, you're gonna repeat this pattern, so you're gonna add 2, and then you're gonna add 1. I'll still show you though. So take your 2, thread it through to the corner, pull on tight, and then it's starting to build. Yippee! Again, when you're on your last 2, you're going to thread it through this corner bead, pull tight, and then you're gonna thread it through the 2 at the start that you put on, and start adding 1 of each little corner. Again, once you've got all your corners on, you're going to go through 1 of your corners and start on your next row. Again, if you need to know how many beads you're adding, look at where you are. 2 beads, 2 beads. You're gonna add 2 beads. 1 bead, 1 bead. You're gonna add 1 bead. It depends on what kind of cycle you're going through, so I'm gonna add 2 beads, 2 beads, 2 beads, 2 beads. I'm gonna have to move up 1 bead, 1 bead, 1 bead, 1 bead. You get the idea. In your 7 layers, what I do is, you obviously gotta tie it off. So I take it through a corner, pull, and then this is so hard. Can my camera just not blur, please? I take it, you're gonna see there is a connecting string from where it connects to the next bead. I thought I almost just face revealed. I thread it under that, create a big loop, pull your string through, tie it off. Do that 3 times. Then I take a decently long kind of string, forearm length, and I'm going to start its little hands. Tying your string the same way you tied it off, basically going through one of the connecting strings, and then afterward what I do is I pull it through the closest corner bead. So I'm sorry, my camera is so blurry, but there you go. And I'll show you how to get down so you can do the feet. So there's no definitive way of I know how to do this. This is just kind of me winging it, but I bring it down to this bead right under. Make sure it doesn't loop through itself. I'm being a little bit of a dunce right now. Just bring it down to the bead below it. Pull. So you're going through the second bead, and then you're going to start adding your little hands. After you've threaded it through here, you're going to go to this bead, go across, go down, go across, and then I'm going to go through this green bead right here to start the next row of feet. And you basically repeat it on the other side. So go through, down, through, and start on the next feet. Once you have threaded on your last little leg, I like to climb upwards through my beads and tie it off probably right about here. Once you get up, don't forget to tie it off. Now you're going to repeat the same process of making the body, but with the head. You're going to make the corner pieces the eyes, make this the little mouth, and it has 4 rows. So just start the same way that you started the butt, right on top of his head, go on down, and then I'll show you how to tie on to the back and make his little antennas. So on this last layer, you don't need to add your corner pieces. You can just go ahead and go towards the back, and I'll show you how to attach the back of the head. So these 2 back beads right by my pinky, you're going to thread your string through, and then you're going to go towards the back and thread it through these 2 back beads. I do about 3 times over, and then you can tie it off. Now that I have this bit on, the last bit is the little antennas. So firstly, you're going to go through these 2 top beads, kind of between the eyes, and I'll show you what to do. Pull it through like this, and then you're going to add 3 beads. They're going to go down this middle, like these 2 strings together. Well, 2 are, and then I'll just show you. 2 go down like normal, and then you're going to add 1 bead on one string. Once it's like that, tie it together. And then boom, now you got your very own little chud. Yay!